why are you running for Congress?
Federal overreach. I'll put it in 2 words: federal overreach.
Federal
Um,
overreach.
I've been affected, like most Americans have been affected. 22 would be an historic time in our country, in our state. Our First Amendment, the right to assemble, the right to come together, to worship, the Constitution is very clear that Congress shall make and there's no law, pertaining and restricting our First Amendment, to right to come to church and to assemble, and the freedoms of religion. So in 22, we closed our church and turned out the lights for the last time. So I've seen how the government has stepped in and violated the very thing that they took office and swore to. Everyone in office, they put their hand on the Bible and they put their other hand in the air, and they swore to uphold the Constitution of the United States of America. Well, in 2020, they violated that oath. Now, I feel like today, just to clarify a little bit, there's not one person, I don't think, in the country that would have, not approved of the 2 weeks to curb the virus, but the 2 weeks turned to 2 years. And when you saw the curtain rolled back just a little bit with how much control that our federal government has over Texans, over the United States, to be able to come in and literally dictate and to pick winners and losers. And that's what they did in 2020. They said some would be important, some would not be important. You could work, you cannot. You could get medical, you cannot. Small businesses all across this district have shut their doors and turned out their lights for the last time. These are the things that really drove me. And then you couple that with the housing crash in 2008, when the government was bailing out bankers and banks, and Fannie Mae was going under, and they were getting the bailout, and J.P. Morgan and Wells Fargo, and the list just goes on, all the bailouts, right? At the same time that they were bailing all them people out, we sit here, when I say we, middle class America, they don't like middle class America. And I say they, federal government as a whole, doesn't seem to like it. They'll bail out the big corporations and they'll give handouts to the poor. But what about the middle class? We just get the government's foot on our throat. And so you take all these things and life lessons that I've learned through my life and dealing with federal government. But this biggest one was how they dictated to the church. And in some states, pastors were going to jail and being fined ridiculous amounts of money because they chose to obey God rather than man. And so these are my biggest push. This is really what drove me into run in 2020. It continues to drive me even today.